Demolish all violators. Yo, it's too many styles. Who's the best now? Before you bow me, son, you better get your way down. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Wow, it's like Ace of Spades versus Cisco. It's the boom bap, boom bap.
The Boom Bap Hour, and I'm your host, Miss Ruby V, and I'm here with a very special guest. His name is DaLyrical, and he has joined us as our guest today. We're so happy he, took his time out to join us today. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. So, definitely just want to get into, what you're doing, your new projects. Sounds like you have like a great history we can talk about. And just to let everyone know in our audience, like let everybody know who you are, where you're from, and what you have going on right now.
All right. What's up, everybody? My name is DaLyrical. I am from Pittsburgh, PA. And I'm a rapper, and I've been in the game now for since 1989. So, I had to take a 11-year break, from 2010 to 2021 before I recorded and wrote anything again due to a stroke I suffered in 2009. And I completely lost my ability to speak. So I was able to teach myself to speak again using nothing but hip hop. I took a break from writing and rapping and put music out in 2010. That's the last time I put something out was when I regained my speech, but I just didn't like it. It didn't sound right. So it's been 11 years. It was 11 years before I wrote and recorded again. And that's the song Call Me Old right now. That's out right now in the video, Call Me Old. And the reason I called it Call Me Old is because, next month I'll be 52 years old.
Hey.
But I embrace my age, and I want Generation X to do the same, and Call Me Old was just supposed to be for myself and my friends. But once it got done, and a cousin of mine my cousin Nina Brooks had me get it to MJ Savino, publicist MJ Savino. And, here we are now, because MJ is pushing this thing everywhere for me, and it's doing great. So it was just supposed to be for me and my friends, but now it's then bloomed into a song that's going global. And, I'm working on the album now. So even after this interview, I'm headed back to the studio, and I'm in the middle of recording my album. So I'm in a good place, and I'm so thankful and blessed to be back doing what I love to do. And it's a good feeling, and I'm just very thankful.
Wow. Shout out to MJ. She is the truth. I'm trying to tell you.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Yes. And that's a beautiful story. I mean, so you use hip hop to teach yourself how to talk again. Like when you say that, so did you just practice every day or?
Yes. Okay. So at the time that I had the stroke, I had my own studio in my apartment. I had built my own studio in my apartment, and I was recording, engineering, doing everything myself. And when I had the stroke and I lost my ability to speak, I wanted to record again. But I knew I had to learn how to speak. I was supposed to go to doctors, kept telling me to go to speech therapy, and I just refused. And I just put my trust and my faith in hip hop. I believed that if I could spit the songs that I knew from myself and every other artist, like LL Cool J and KRS-One and, Slick Rick, we going back and on up through, EPMD and Jay-Z and Nas and Biggie and the Wu, every song that I ever knew word for word, I was determined to spit it word for word again. including my own songs, everything that I had written and putting out over the years. So, and I just knew that if I could spit these songs and if I could get these songs out, then I would be able to speak again if I could rap.
Right.
And I trusted that more than I trusted speech therapy. I didn't know if it would work, but I just trusted it.
Mm-hmm.
And every day I would put my headphones on and just play albums, artists that I knew, and just sit there and try to spit the songs. And it was a slow journey. I'm gonna tell you, it was tough. You know, it took a while before I could, you know, spit one song all the way through. But that one song gave me hope. I knew that, okay, I got this one. Now I'll get another one. And then two songs turned into 10. 10 songs turned into 30. 30 songs turned into 100. And that's how I got my speech back. And I never went to speech therapy, and I refused to take their opioids. I refused. They would give me opioids, but they made me feel fucked up and off, and my equilibrium was off, and, you know, other issues. And I would just know. And it got to the point where the pharmacy was calling my doctor, like, he's not picking up his meds. And my doctor was calling me, and I was telling him, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just refused. And, you know, here we are, 12 years later. Well, 13 years later.
Wow. Well, that's definitely a testament to the power of hip hop and just, you know, your steadfast determination, you know, as far as, you know, just having faith. And I mean, that is a beautiful and amazing story. So let's talk about your new music.
Okay.
That you have coming out. So how does it feel like making your return? I mean, like, wow, after such a wonderful story, how does that feel?
Like I'm just so thankful. I thank God so much, you know, to be back in this position, right? I had no idea Call Me Old would be received the way it's being received across the country and in Canada. And, you know, they're writing articles about me now in Canada. You know, I'm like, just blowing my mind, you know. And it's just a great feeling. And I'm just blessed, truly blessed. But I always knew that as long as I had my mind up and I was in my right mind, I wasn't going to lose my skills, right? Even when I couldn't say it, I could still think it, okay? Mm-hmm. Right? I just couldn't get it out for a while. But I knew that I was still a top-notch MC. I believed in, like, I've been gifted, and I know that, right? So now that I'm writing again, all right, I got 100 songs that I could have put on this album that I've written from 10 years ago and before. Mm-hmm. But I decided to give the world me right now. So everything I'm writing is brand new. Okay. Right? It's what I'm writing right now, right? Where my skill level was at right now. And I want the world to hear that, know that, right? So also another reason I'm doing this is I'm hoping if I can make it and blow up, that'll give hope to every other MC like me that was dope, that just didn't get where they wanted to be due to whatever circumstances. But there's a lot of MCs like me that's still out there that got mad skills. And unfortunately, the hip hop industry doesn't want MCs like us right now, right? They want to water down the acts and the no content in the music and just talk about pop perks, getting high and getting ass and wet ass pussy and all this bullshit. Right. And I'm just so disgusted because hip hop started out, we were being conscious about ourselves. It was Black Pride and Black Power, and it was fuck the police, and it was fight the power, you know, and it was I'm Black and I'm proud, you know, UNITY, right?
Mhm.
That's where hip hop was. They don't want that.
And you know what? I was going to actually ask you to get into that a little bit more, because it's almost like, the old, well, what they would call the old school, you know what I'm saying? 30, I would say 35 plus or whatever is what they maybe would label the old school, right? So over here, and then you got like the new generation Z, all of that over here, right? So, I mean, just kind of like with the observations that you just said, what do you think that each one can learn from each other, as far as like the old school learning from, the new school, they have traits too, and then what do the old school, or what they consider old school, what they would call us. What do you think that the new school can learn from our generation?
So that's what Call Me Old is all about. I'm trying to teach the next generation, right, what real hip hop is and what it's all about, right? And that's why I say in the song, the industry's to blame. You get a little fame, but nearly half you motherfuckers even got the same name.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, like, break down some of your bars so that, what I'm saying, see where you're at, what I'm saying, on this song.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about, right? It's the industry, right?
Okay.
But they feed into that because they want to be famous, right? So they allow the industry to dumb them down, right? Even if they have skills, the industry don't want them displaying skills. They want them talking about Xanax, Percocets, all that shit, and chains, and glorifying going to jail.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so do you talk about kind of like that in the song, like, I guess, to break down some more of your lyrics and like the song?
The second verse, I say, I'm gonna go through the second verse 8 bars at a time. Okay. So the second verse, I start out, I say, I still love her, but I'm so frustrated. My relationship with hip hop is rather complicated. It's surely understated and purely overrated. Nowadays, these motherfuckers on the mic can make you hate it. We had enough of all this mumbling and bumbling, babbling and bobbling, stumbling and fumbling. Nothing about them humbling. So here comes the tumbling. Get a couple years, then careers start crumbling. Because that's all they get. You hear about these dudes for a year or two, and then they're gone.
Right.
Gone.
Right.
Never to be heard from again. And that's the industry just using them and spitting them out. And they're signing these awful ass deals.
Yeah, people don't read. They don't read.
No, it's not that they don't read. They don't give a shit. They think $1 million is a lot of money.
Okay, right. But they don't know what everything to go into that though.
No, $1 million ain't shit, because off top, half of it's going to the IRS off top, right? And then you gotta pay for your production to get your album done. That's another 100,000 maybe, right? Oh, wait a minute, your manager, agents, they get 10, 15%, right? So by the time you all said and done, by the time you bought your mama a house and got your whip and got your bling, right? Your ass got about $25,000 left. After you took the whole hood out and hooked everybody up. Right. Now you got about 25 grand left out of that $1 million contract you signed. But guess what? Now you owe the record company. And you gotta hope they put your record out. And even if they put it out, it gotta recoup before you make money. They gotta get all them. And now they got people signing, I think they're called 360 deals.
I heard those were really bad.
They're awful, because now the 360 deals mean they get money out of your touring when you performing live. That now goes to recoupment as well.
Oh my God. So before, that was supposed to go out in your pocket.
Right.
Oh, okay.
What they're doing is making these artists slaves. That's what it is. So no,
Well,
I'm not trying to sign a major record deal, right? And I know it's going to take me longer being independent, but I own my label, Real Strong Entertainment,
okay.
right? I
Okay.
own mine. So if they want, they got to negotiate with me. And if they don't, fuck them. Because I'm not going to let them change me.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
not going to go that route. I believe in uplifting people. And, you know, hip hop was born from talking about our struggles and talking about uplifting and being proud to be Black, even though we've gone through all the bullshit that America puts us through on a daily basis. We still find a way to be proud. And that's what it was born out of. Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the streets, no, just don't care. Can't take the smell, can't take the noise. Got the money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Right?
But made
Right?
something out of nothing though. Out of all those circumstances though, still made
We
something
still
out of-
find a way to be proud.
That's right. That's right. So
And,
I love
and
about us.
those tools that helped us to be proud.
Mhm.
And now they're trying to destroy it and kill it. But people like me, we getting it the fuck up off of life support and we keeping it alive. Real hip hop will live and live forever.
Yes, it will. I know that's right. I love to hear that because I mean it's a reason why, here, like you said, the Queen Latifah, the Public Enemy is a reason why, because of course, like all these corporations took over. Corporations own what? The radio stations,
Right.
what they determining what you hear 10 times a day,
Right.
in rotation. So it's all just a cycle.
Yeah.
And it's a
DJs
reason why.
gifts, because they, that they can't give y'all money, right? But they give gifts, trips to the Bahamas, dinners at the best restaurants in towns, floor seats at the Laker game or the Knicks, corporate suites at the football games, and bring everybody, bring the kids, you know what I mean? Just to push their agenda and have you play their music and play that bullshit.
Yep.
Because they know hip hop is the most influential tool for young Black men and women.
Absolutely.
There's nothing more powerful than it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And look what we talk about. Look at what the rappers today, most of them talk about. You don't hear the little young country singers singing about shooting and killing each other. You don't hear them singing about taking it in the ass and wet ass pussy. You don't hear them singing about rape and everything else, right? They ain't talking about that. They don't let them talk about that. But it's okay for us to talk about that. It's okay for us to talk about killing another Black man on records.
Yes, it's not cool. It's never been cool. It's not cool. And it's like certain things like you said, it's just like in our genre, they just let slide because they kind of want to see.
They want to see it. They know the people are going to emulate what they hear on these records. Right?
Right.
They're going to emulate it because they think it's cool. It's not that they're doing it because they think it's cool, right? Mm-hmm. Or getting directed, but they're going to emulate. Mm-hmm. And that's what's about. Because what happens is it ends up being a part of the tool of mass incarceration.
They already set up for it.
Right. Because these little niggas go broke and get in trouble and go to jail trying to look rich.
Hood rich.
Right. Poor as shit, but they trying to look rich.
Right. It's just a whole mindset change that got to happen. I mean, it really is,
right.
But yeah, it really is a cycle, as far as like, the being pushed because they know that if you really are listening to something that's gonna foster some change or some, positive movement, that's dangerous, right? So
Right.
they don't really want that. Yeah, they don't really want that.
They don't want that from us. They got to keep us down, right? And that's the way to help ensure keeping us down. So I know I'm in the fight. I'm fighting. I'm a fight. I need all the help I can get from rational thinking people that want to, create a change and help the school, the younger generation, and let them know that what they're going through as far as the industry is all bullshit. It hurts, man. It hurts to hear a female, some females, these sisters, as talented as they are. Now, I don't want to say that, some of them got skills, right? But why you talk about wet ass pussy? Why? Why?
Because they know they got a market for it, somebody gonna listen.
Was market created for it.
Yeah.
It was created by the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it started with Lil' Kim. It started with her when she said, "Take it in the bud." Yeah, that's what. Right? Now you got Nicki Minaj talking about eat my ass like a cupcake.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to go way past that now. It's on a whole nother level.
Right. So, that's what I mean. And it's just not right. It's not right. And they know what they're doing. And the industry know what they're doing. They know what they've done. And they hate people like me. People who tell the truth. People who try to lift people up. People who make sense when they rhyme. People who got a message to send. They don't want that. They want idiots. They want people they control and tell what to say. Yeah, act a little rougher. Act a little rougher. Get tattoos on your face. Yeah, we're gonna make you hard.
Yeah, and some if they really are not like that, and then they're just kind of going along with it,
Right, they just playing a part
with the program. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
like, be who you really want to be. If you don't want to be that, then it's like now you're in a whole thing. Now you're part of the label, and they're telling you what to do. It's like
everything they tell you how
everything's
to
tied
act,
up
what
in that
to say.
now. Yeah,
everything.
Well,
you're a puppet.
Thing about it is that now it's a lot more power with the artists. So if you can really just kind of grasp onto the technical savvy,
right,
social media,
you don't need them as much, not nearly as much, right? So they go out and find people that they could pre-package and market and turn into this, and they just get people to sign their life away. Because the bottom line is they're just trying to put out one hit record, right? At the end of the day, if they get one hit record out of this artist, no matter how much money they put into them, on the back end, that hit record is going to make money forever.
Yeah, they're right. You can be a one-hit wonder and it's still going to make money for you. You know what I'm saying?
One hit.
So pretty much, they already know that.
Right.
Well, what I want to ask you is, what was the moment that you felt like you fell in love with hip hop? What was the moment that you just heard?
Oh, that was easy. That was easy as hell. I was watching Crush Groove.
Okay.
When LL Cool J walked into the office carrying his radio to talk to Russell, and Russell was like, "Man, we getting ready to go." When Cool J was like, "Nah. Box." Press play. Cool J said, "My radio, believe me, and like it loud. I'm a man with the box that can rock the crowd."
It was over.
It was over for me. It was over. So after that, I started lip syncing his songs at the under 21 club when I was in high school, right, on Sunday nights.
Okay.
And I used to win the contest. I won it so much that they told me I couldn't win no more. but I was just lip syncing his songs, but the crowd would go crazy, right? Like I was really LL.
When they was saying you just too good, is that what it was?
Yeah, so, but that convinced me, like, if I could get people this hype doing somebody else's, right? Well,
Right.
I need to be doing my own. And that's when I started writing. That was 1985. I was 15 years old.
Wow. And then since then, you've really had some really, great moments in your career. I mean, you opened up for KRS One. Let me see.
That was the highlight.
How was that experience?
Unreal.
I'm sure.
Unreal. Because I met him. Actually, we were staying in the same hotel and everything because my man, shout out to Salt Shaker Productions, my man Salt. He brought KRS to Pittsburgh, to a club called Kong's, right outside the city. But he called me and told me, hey, he said, man, listen, man, I'm bringing, KRS in, KRS to town, man. And I want you to open up. Would you open up and, get the crowd hyped before we can come on? I'm like, what, man? That's one of my idols, bro. I still to this day, I think KRS is the best, even though Cool J was my idol and the reason I started rapping, but I still think KRS-One is the best. So before the, I got to meet him in the hotel. We chopped it up for a bit, and then upstairs backstage, for the show, right before we went on, he's like, Rocket, man. I said, I got it, man. So I went on the stage, and I opened up. We opened up, and I thought I killed it, but I was nervous as shit because I wasn't even thinking about everybody else. I was thinking about Chris. I mean, right? At that point, I was like, man, because I wanted to impress him so bad. And then he came on right after us, and then after we finished, I'm walking out the stage, and he was walking on, and he stuck his hand out, and he said, good job, man. And he gave me a hug and said, you rocked it. And man, that just blew my mind. And that was just, you couldn't tell me nothing after that, man. I was like, I opened up for Chris, and he gave me love, and it was unbelievable. It was a great moment for me. And like I said, that's still the highlight of my career, other than like coming back and doing this again.
Wow, it's like the ultimate validation, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
and
so.
At the time, I was actually recording in Manhattan.
Okay.
Right. So all throughout the mid-90s, I recorded at INS Studio in Manhattan, New York City. So, because I went up there to do two things. I wanted that real underground hip hop sound. And, and at the time I couldn't get that in Pittsburgh. Right. Okay. So I had to go where that sound was coming from. And I knew I had to go there. Plus I wanted to challenge myself. And I knew the best MCs on the planet were in New York City at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely at that time for sure. It was
for sure. I started going up there, and then I started, rapping. There was a crew of rappers that recorded at INS Studio, and they were called the INS Fam, INS Family. And these rappers, I ended up getting cool with them, and we used to battle and catch ciphers, and it got to the point where we got so cool, they made me a part of the INS family, and they would take me all over New York City to their different hoods, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, and we would battle other crews and then just catch ciphers with other crews. And that's where I really honed my skills, right? But when I first went up there, the first time I got, and now the studio was owned by Paradise Gray, who was in the group X Clan. You remember Vainglorious, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he was the dude that used to walk with the big stick, had the dread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Paradise Gray. And then his partner was my man, the co-owner was Demetrius Gore. He was a basketball player that played for the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So the way I hooked up with them, I was at, believe it, I was at here in Pittsburgh, down in the hood called East Liberty, in a place called East Liberty. And it was me and my man, DJ Assassin, at the time, my producer. We went to a Foxy Brown concert, right? So yeah, Foxy was down there doing her thing. So we was at the concert, and at the time I had music out here in Pittsburgh, and you know, my name was doing this thing, and I had a few singles out, and you know, so some dudes came running up to me. It's like, yo, lyrical, yo. I'm like, turn around, like, what's up? Like, yo, man, Dice is here, Paradise, man, from X Clan. He's here. He want to meet you. He's in the back. I'm like, word? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, come on, bro. We walk back, me and Assassin, and talked to Dice. And he's like, listen, man, he asked me, you know, how much I was paying for recording in Pittsburgh, you know, and I told him, and he was like, well, you know, man, listen, man, me and Meech got the studio in Manhattan, and I know you the best here in the city. Everybody keep telling me everywhere I go, everybody, hey, you know, lyrical. Well, at the time, my name was Lyrical Lord. So he kept saying, hearing Lyrical Lord, you know.
Like, you say him and Meech, like Meech?
No. Demetrius Gore. He was a basketball player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a basketball player for Pitt, and he played for Pitt. He was in the league for a while too.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, he one time he broke the backboard. I think he was the first Pitt player in history to break the backboard on a dunk during the game. But he was nice. But they in the studio together. So anyway, I said, all right, man, we'll come up and check it out. So the first time we went to New York City, we went up there to check out INS. I wasn't, you know, I hadn't booked no time yet to record. We were just going up there to check it out. So it was surreal, you know. We got up there, we parked right, you know, in front of the studio, and you know, we jumped on the elevator, went in the building, got on the elevator. And when we got off the elevator, it was crazy to me, like the movies and shit. The elevator opened up and you was right in the office. You was right in the office of the studio. You wasn't going through no doors or nothing, right? You was just right in the studio. So Dice was sitting there at his desk. And as soon as me and Assassin, you know, walked up, and I'm like, all right, what's up, Dice? As soon as I said, what's up, Dice, I hear, yo, who's Lyrical? Who's Lyrical? Which one of y'all's Lyrical? This dude walking up the hall. Which one of y'all's Lyrical? Which one of y'all's Lyrical? So I turned, I'm like, me, bro. I'm like, me, dog, what's up? He was like, come on, Cypher, come on. And I was like, oh shit, all right. So I'm, you know, whatever, let's go. So me and my man walked in, followed him, and they had two rooms. They had an A room and a B room. So we walked and we went to the B room, which is a smaller studio, right? So he walks in first, then I walk in behind him. And there's 9 other dudes up against the board waiting on me.
No pressure.
So when I got in, me and my man, we walked over to the other side and turned around and faced them. Okay. So it was facing the fucking firing squad, man. I'm like, I'm looking at these dudes and I'm like, this is crazy, you know? So I'm like, whatever, you know? And then they had another dude was over on a DAT machine, a DAT, you know, because that's back when they still had DATs before CDs and all that shit, disc and everything. So dude, he was a producer and he had beats, and his beats was banging, like, you know, gutter, hip hop, real. I was in New York, you know what I mean? So he looked at me, the first dude was like, ready? I was like, yeah. So the producer, bang, he hit the beat come on, music come on. And the first dude started rapping. I had never heard nobody as good as him. Wow. Right? And I'm like, whoa. So then he passed it to the second dude. Second dude started rapping. He better than the first dude. Oh, now I'm like, oh, shit. You know, I'm 24 years old, you know what I mean? I've been called the man, and I got 4 or 5 records out at the time, but I ain't never heard no shit like this.
Wow.
So then the second dude passed to the third dude better than the second dude. I'm like, this is, you know, and I'm looking at these and I'm listening like, God damn. So then the third dude passed it to me.
Okay.
When he passed it to me, I straight froze.
Oh.
I couldn't even get nothing out. I was like, I swear to God, true story. I froze. So the fourth dude just cut me off. And then he just spit his shit, passed to the fifth dude. Fifth dude spit his shit. And they just keep getting better. He passed it to the seventh dude. Seventh dude do his thing, and he passed it back to me. I'm stuck again. I mean, just nothing coming out. I'm like, and then he passed it. So the seventh dude started talking shit on me. Go back to Pittsburgh, eat a shit bird. I mean, he just going, stop talking all this shit. I thought she was nice. Never ever touch the mic again, nigga. You blah blah niggas like you was sacrificing. Then he passed it to the eighth dude, and the eighth dude was a white dude, and this was way 4 or 5 years before Eminem. And this white man, and I'm not prejudiced. I mean, I got mad white friends, and like, you know what I mean. I got nothing against cool white people. Fuck them racists, but I'm cool with regular white people that I understand, right?
Right.
But this dude was and this was unheard of,
Okay.
right? Like this was just unheard of.
Right.
And I forget one line he said something like, the way he does women, he always gives them more spasms, but he sticks his dick in power sockets just to reach his orgasms.
Oh my God. And you still remember that?
Yes, this is 1994, right?
It left quite an impression.
Yes. So the ninth dude went, right?
Uh-huh.
And he does his thing, and then he passed it to the 10th dude, who was the best, and his name was Lunatic. And that me and Tick ended up being real cool. But so while the ninth dude is gone, I was so mad, and I got mad, right? I just got mad because of what was happening. And my producer, DJ Assassin, he's looking at me like, man, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So I blocked them out for a second. I put my head down and I started rocking back and forth. And I was so mad at myself that I literally started crying. I had tears running down my face because I was so mad. And then a couple dudes walked out the room like, fuck you, nigga, go back to Pittsburgh. You ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. So after the 10th dude went, the first dude went again. And then he was really, trying to give it to me. But so he passed it to me. And when he passed it to me, I don't remember it at all. But the first thing I can remember what I said. I said, man, I had enough of this. You niggas made me sick. Now I'm about to kick some shit and get you niggas off my dick. And I ripped it and I passed it back to the first dude. He passed it back to me. I ripped it again and passed it to the second dude. And he passed it back. I went down the line with all 10 of them motherfuckers. And then when I was done, they was like, yeah, yeah. They was smacking me on the head. I'm still crying and shit because I'm like,
oh man.
Yeah, lyrical. And then after that, we just chilled. We started just catching ciphers together, right? For the rest of the day. So they was like, yeah, be okay. And they just gave me love from their point on, right? And so after that, Dice called me out. He was like, Lyrical, come here, man. So I went out, I'm like, what's up, Dice? He was like, it was like a couple hours later. He was like, look, man, sit down. I'm really tell you something. I was like, and I sat down. I was like, what's up? It was Paradise Gray. He looked at me. He said, never stop rapping. You never stop rapping because this is what you were born to do. He said, every rapper that comes up here, every rapper that comes to New York from somewhere else, these dudes do the same thing to them. He said, and I know you ain't never seen or heard nothing like it, ever. He said, but you stepped up and you gave it back to him. You were born to do this, because most rappers, they leave and never come back and quit rapping forever.
Is that serious? They that
It's
serious?
brutal. It was brutal.
Sounds like it.
And if you don't, you know, if you're not a real rapper, you're not going to survive that. You wouldn't survive that, because the best rappers are never on records, right?
I definitely believe
some of them make it. Some of them, circumstance allows some of us to get there. Okay, but like in the early mid 90s, there was so many. Oh my God, some of them were just too raw to be on records, right? You got to understand, like DMX, he didn't make it till he was 28.
Things that people don't know, things don't realize.
Right.
You know,
like Puffy had a chance to get him. Puffy took the locks and told DMX, "Nah, man, you ain't ready for Bad Boy."
I guess he was mad about that later, wasn't he? He might regret it.
I'm saying, like, imagine if Rough Riders would have never brought DMX out. The world would have never known about him or heard of him, right? Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of DMXs out there.
Yep, I know that are just undiscovered.
Never got there.
Yep. And imagine back then, you know, where especially, you know, it was really a competition. And now you probably never would hear some of the best rappers because they're commercializing so much.
Right.
So,
I don't want the best rappers now.
Right, exactly. They
want anybody to think that they can make it as a rapper, because anybody can. They just take them, package them, give them some words, have somebody else write for them, ghostwriters and shit, right? They make artists now. They don't want them to be genuine.
Manufactured, definitely.
Right.
But it sounds like, look, you know, like say you're looking for people to, you know, aligned with you, where we always definitely gonna be, you know, on your team, and we definitely gonna play, you know, call me old, but you're not old. That's not old, but you know, we definitely gonna play that for sure. So before we wrap it up, just let everybody know, where can we find all of your music, everything, you social media, website, everything?
All right, so the only single that's out right now is Call Me Old, right?
Okay.
The next single will be released the 1st of April, and it's a song called My Life. That's the next song, right? So I've had probably about half the album done right now, and I'm working on the rest. But Call Me Old is on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, all platforms, all musical platforms. All right. They can reach me personally, at Real Strong ENT at Instagram, at Real Strong ENT on Twitter, DaLyrical on Facebook, DaLyrical on TikTok. You know, I got a bunch of TikToks where I'm just talking about what's going on in the world, you know, some political stuff, and like I don't feel restricted, so I'm just,
You're not old. You on TikTok? Come on.
Right.
So many people there. What's that? I don't even know how to use this. You all.
And now, anybody who wants to see, please go and check out the video for Call Me Old on YouTube. All right, they got the video was on YouTube. I got the regular version and the clean version, the radio version of the video. So, but like I said, the next single will be out at the beginning of April, and it's a song called My Life. And then after that, I got a surprise coming for ladies. I just don't want to give the title. Yeah, I don't want to get a title to that song out yet.
Y'all hear that, ladies? You got a surprise coming. So you heard it here first on the Boom Bap Hour. It's coming.
Mhm.
Yes. All right. Was any shout out you want to give before we go?
Ooh, I got a few. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my producer, DJ Super C. Man, he producing my whole album. When you hear Call Me Yo, he done the track, and he also does all the cutting and scratching at the beginning of it. You know, I want to bring that back too, like the art. And he's really cutting on real 1200 turntables techniques. He's cutting on techniques, so those aren't samples. That's him cutting it up. So shout out to him, my attorney Rocco Koza, MJ Savino, my publicist, obviously, my video production team, Aaron Dudas and Marty Schiff, my engineer, Lamont Giles, Sonny Brasco. That's my man, my engineer, and oh man, just all my clients, you know, just the city of Pittsburgh, the city of Atlanta, you know, and just, you know, everybody who's played Call Me Old, listened to it, heard it, turns people onto it. I'm just so blessed and thankful, man. I just want to thank all of y'all. So you know, I can be shouting people out all night. I got so many, man. I can't forget my family. Got a shout out to my family too, man. So you know, we can wrap it up there, man, but it's just a lot of people. There's a lot of people believing in me right now, and it feels good to have that after not having that for a while.
Well, we definitely are behind you. We wish you the best
Thank
luck.
you
We're gonna be
so
playing
much.
everything. Please let us know anything new that you have, and we definitely will support it.
Will
And
do.
again, it was so good having you today on the Boom Bap Hour.
Good
And
to be here.
yes, and you heard it here first. D-Brock the Lyrical. Keep it locked. It's a Boom Bap Hour. Don't go anywhere.
All right, you got it.